So today's topic for discussion is this concept of relationships is what we plan to discuss. Uh, so let's begin our journey with this concept of relationships. Now, when we talk about relationships, there are several kinds of relationships, and there are strong reasons as to why we should focus on these relationships as well. Now, whenever you create any application, the classes, the objects, all of those which are there, which make a part, which are actually a part of our application, are related to each other. Now, these classes and objects constantly interact with each other to fulfill our objective. Now, if we design classes and we construct objects of those classes, and those objects deliver us the services that we are expecting, and depicting as to what is happening in the real world through those objects is nothing but our application. So these objects and classes are constantly interacting with each other, depicting the dynamism in our application. Okay, makes our application as close as possible to the real world. OOPS actually provides you this opportunity. So the what that object stands for in the real world will represent that object in the similar fashion in our application, and the way the object behaves or interacts or acts in the real world exactly in the same fashion it will also interact in our application. So our applications are, we can actually model the real world very well by using object-oriented concept. Let the language be anything, but the language that supports object-oriented concept. So this object-oriented approach performs action in response to message from other objects. Now, remember when we took up this OOPS concepts, if I ask you a question saying, what's your name? Now, moment I ask you a question, what's your name? And a particular person to whom I'm asking that particular question, say this fellow X to whom I ask this question, what's your name? So he's going to respond. And what is he going to respond? He's going to tell me his name. Now, what service does he provide me, or what information the other student has provided me, depends upon what question I have asked. So or suppose if I greet you, good afternoon. So obviously, if you're well-mannered, you'll also greet me back saying good afternoon. Now that's your behavior. Now, how a particular object responds to a particular message defines the behavior of that particular object. If I greet you and you greet me back, that's your behavior. Okay. And if I greet you, you do not greet me back, that's again your behavior. But then how an object, receiving object, say I pass a message to you, if I ask you what's the time now. So if I'm passing a message to you, now how do you respond to that particular message? That behavior that you have exhibited in responding to that particular message is your behavior. That's your behavior. So, but which behavior am I expecting you to exhibit? That depends upon what message I pass to you. So if I ask you what's the time, you're going to deliver me the time. If I ask you what's your name, you're going to give me your name. So it is me who, as an actor, forces you to react. So I'm passing some message, and my message actually determines what behavior are you going to exhibit. What kind of behavior do I expect you to exhibit. So the way you exhibit that particular behavior is, or give me a response, that's your behavior. And there are two major reasons why we think about these relationships while you're building an application. First is class-class relationship, where relationship indicates some kind of sharing between classes. So there are when you design an application, it will never be the case the application has only a single class. That will never be the case. Your application will be actually made up of number of classes, and these classes will always have some kind of relationship between each other. So when I use the word sharing, that means you have unnecessary duplication of code that you would like to do, that you would be doing, that you would like to avoid. So there will be a lot of sharing that may always happen between different classes that you have, that make a part of our application. So that's one reason for building class-class relationship. And there is some kind of connection. Classes are also related to each other. It's not like an application is made of all unrelated classes. That will hardly ever be a case. So application will comprise of a lot of classes. Classes describe real world entities, and those real world entities in a lot of fashion are related to each other. So there is some connection between them, and that is what we'd like to exhibit. So when you talk about class-class relationship, these two words you have to keep in mind. One is sharing. Multiple classes share certain things in common. Another is connection. That's another thing that you have to keep in mind. Now, when you talk about connection, these classes have some kind of connection. They are either sharing certain things, and they have some kind of connection. So we'll talk more about these class-class relationships as we go ahead. The other kind of relationship that we come across is class-object relationship. So classes and object also have some kind of relationship. And the most simplest kind of relationship that we come across is every object that we actually have is an instance of some class. You cannot construct an object without a class. So if you have an object, that object is actually created by using design of some class. So there is instantiation kind of relationship. That means every class and the instance of that class, that means object of that class, they also share some kind of relationship, because the design of the object is dictated by the class itself. So class is a design, and the thing that is created based on that particular design, your object. So they also share some sort of relationship. And then you come across a complex scenario where, while you're designing a class, we design class so that we would like to instantiate and create an object, but the object is such that it has number of attributes. It has behaviors and it has attributes, that is properties and behavior. Every object has two major things: fields that store data, and the methods that specify how that object is going to behave, respond. So it's like variables plus code. That's what your class is made up of. So your object also has all those things. So one of the attribute, one of the field, like suppose if I'm talking about a class called as point. So in class point, we have one attribute called as int x, another attribute called as int y, a point in an xy plane, I mean. So there are two attributes which are identifying that particular point in xy plane. And then we have get x, get y, set x, set y, display point. These are kind of methods or services that that class may be offering to us. But now we are talking about some complex scenario. We are saying a class has an attribute, and that attribute is an instance of some other class. That means it's an object of some other class. If that's the case, there's also a class object relationship, because you're designing a class. Class has one of the attribute, and the attribute is nothing but an object of some other class. If that's the case, we also need to be aware of the all other kind of relationships. So today we'll explore this class-class relationship and class-object relationship. Now, if you understand these relationships which are there, believe me, developing our application will be far more easy. Rather, let me put it another way around. If you cannot identify the relationship, you'll at most of the time fail to develop any complex application. So if we actually break down or go into more details about these two major kind of relationship that we talked about, class and class object, we can further break them into or specialize them into additional types of relationship. First is composition, second is utilization, third is instantiation, and fourth is inheritance. So today we plan to discuss about these four relationships, but let's have a brief understanding as to what those relationships are all about. So when we talk about composition, as the name says, a relationship occurs where one class is made up of another. That means there is a class which has an attribute, and that attribute is nothing but an instance of some other class. Say there is a class which contains some fields. Let's say a student class. Student has int roll number, and then he says float percentage, and third field that he has is string name. Now remember, in C++, string is also a class. So an object called student of a class called a student has one attribute which is int, that is a roll number, that's of primitive type, then float percentage, that's also of primitive type. But the third one we are saying string name. And the string name is nothing but an object of class string. So an object of one class has another one attribute, and that attribute is nothing but object of some other class. If that's the thing that is we come across, we say it's a composition. Let us take a better example. Say we are talking about student, and student has personal details and academic details. So the student has two attributes, personal details and academic details. So but the personal details is not a basic or primitive type of data. It itself is a class. So we have a class student in which there are two attributes. One attribute says personal detail PD and academic detail AD. That means this PD and AD are instances of two different classes. One is of type personal details, and another is of type academic detail. So when you come across such kind of relationship, we say they are composition. We'll look into the implementation, but as a designer, you need to identify what kind of relationship is more appropriate for that particular problem that is there in front of you. So you can choose the right relationship and express the solution by using the right kind of relationship. If you fail to identify the relationship, or if you you commit a mistake while correctly identifying the relationship, maintaining, developing such applications will actually be very, very difficult. An object of a class contains object of another class as its data. To put in simple words, you are designing a class, it has a field that is an object of some other class. Normally what we have been doing till now is, whenever we have been designing classes till now, we have been creating object which has attributes, and all those attributes, fields, are of all basic type, integers, characters, and floats, and double, and so on. Now we are talking about a scenario where an object contains fields. but one of the field, one or more number of fields of that particular class object are objects of some other class. That means the data which is present inside the class, the fields, attributes, variables which are present inside the class are objects of some other class. That's what we are saying, composition. So example is car and engine. A car has a engine. But engine is not like integer variable or character variable that will have a single value. Engine itself is a composite data type. That means a variable of a composite data type. We are saying we have a car and we say our car design is incomplete without an engine. So car has an engine. You may not be in a position to call a car as a car if it doesn't have an engine. So we are saying my car has an engine. So when I'm saying my car has an engine, engine itself is an object of a class called as engine. Engine, suppose if I say, so my engine itself is an object of class engine. So engine itself will have number of attributes. Okay, so a field inside a class, we are talking about a class car, and one of the field inside the class car is an object of some other class. So a engine is a field of this particular class called as car, and that a engine is a field of which type? Of type engine, and engine itself is a class. So that's nothing but composition. Another kind of behavior that another kind of relationship that we come across is utilization. Now when we say utilization, here there are two or more classes that make use of one another, and both of them can exist independently in the nature. So if I have to describe a driver, now think about a driver. Now if you start thinking about driver, do you really need to have information of the car to describe a driver? No. If I'm thinking about a car, or if I'm describing a car, do you need to have information on a driver? No. So a driver and a car both can exist independently of each other. Both can be described independently of each other. But then for a car to be useful, can you think about a car without a driver? Okay, in normal cases, अब जो Google वगैरह बात करे, that forget about it, driverless cars. But normal cases, the cars that we see today around us are cars which have no meaning if there is no driver. And a fellow cannot be called as a driver if he's not going to drive a particular vehicle or a car. So we say a car driver and a car. So that car driver cannot be called as a driver if there is no car to be driven. So both are making use of one another. So if both make use of one another, that is nothing but utilization relationship. So we talked about two relationships: composition relationship and utilization relationship. But we said there are four relationships that we need to understand. It's not just a matter of understanding. We actually, whenever the problem statement comes to you, comes to us, we have to identify this relationship and design an application keeping these relationships in mind. The other kind of relationship that we come across is instantiation. That's the simplest example relationship that we come across, that exists between a class and instance of that particular class. Say, I say there is a class called as laptop, and a laptop. Yeah, my laptop or your laptop. They are nothing but instance of that particular class laptop that dictates the design of that particular laptop. The laptop is only a concept, and your laptop and my laptop are nothing but objects of that class. Say I say Maruti 800. So Maruti 800 is only a concept, is only a design. And your car and my car, the cars that have been created based on that design are nothing but objects of that particular class. So that your car or my car is an instance of that class car. Your laptop or my laptop is an instance of class laptop. So there is a relationship between the class and the object which has been created based on that particular class. And that relationship is nothing but instantiation. I say Sholay and movie. So movie is a design. Every movie has a actor, the producer, the date of release, and the duration it took for shoot, and what budget of that particular movie, and so on. And that is there for every movie. That is there for every movie. And that was the case with Sholay also, because Sholay was a movie. Okay, Sholay is a movie, rather I said Sholay is a movie. So when I say Sholay is a movie, that means this Sholay movie was created based on the design of movie. So it's an instance of class movie. So Sholay was one of those movies that we come across, and you have so many different movies. That means we can have multiple instances of the same class. Now, when we talk about the last relationship, there is inheritance. It says where one class is created from another class. That means there is already a class existing, and we create a new class based on that existing class rather than starting the design from scratch. So we make use of that previously designed class and make some changes to that particular class, change the design, go ahead with some kind of specialization, or go ahead with some kind of modification in that particular class. How to modify, I'll show you, and create a new class that fulfills some newer set of requirements as well. So when I say vehicle and a car, the vehicle is a very vague kind of concept. But when I say a car and a vehicle, So the car inherits the property of a vehicle. So car has all the properties of vehicle, or rather I'll say car is a specialized kind of vehicle where the picture becomes more clear what kind of vehicle are we more talking about. Because when I say use the word vehicle, the idea is not very clear what vehicle, but you know for sure you're not talking about dogs and cats and lion and tiger. You're talking about a vehicle. Now, if it's a vehicle, it could be two-wheeler, it could be four-wheeler, it could be a car, it could be a truck, it could be anything. But you have a pretty good idea when you're saying vehicle. You have a pretty good idea what are we actually talking about. But the detailed information will come across when we have a new class, which is a specialized version of that superclass. So vehicle is a superclass, car is a subclass, and car is nothing but a specialized version of vehicle. I can say vehicle and a truck. Truck is also a specialized kind of vehicle. I could say vehicle and aeroplane. Aeroplane is also a specialized kind of vehicle. But then a truck and a car and aeroplane may will also have something in common. And that commonality, we are talking about that superclass vehicle. So vehicle describes an abstract concept, and that is made more clear by the subclass, which gives you more idea about what kind of vehicle are we talking about. So these are four relationships that we come across. So before we go ahead with the detailed discussion, what we need to do is first build our ability to identify relationships. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cite you some examples. Now, while I cite you those examples, your duty is to identify whether it's a class-class relationship or class-object relationship. And once you identified whether it's a class-class relationship or class-object relationship, then we'll identify what kind of specialized relationship that exists, whether it's composition, inheritance, instantiation, or utilization. Which among those four relationships does it represent? And then as we go ahead with a lot of examples, you'll find a pattern which will help us to understand amongst those four relationships, which one are class-class relationship and which one are class-object relationships. That is also something that we'll understand. So let's look at the first example. And to justify, you need to talk about what kind of specialized relationships are we talking about. We had those four other relationships, which are either class-class or class-object relationships. So let me just give you a brief understanding about it. If it's class-class relationship, if it's class-object relationship, how do you actually go on to describe? Let's discuss this example. When I say ball pen and a refill, somebody said class-class relationship. Now, can you tell me why is it class-class relationship? Okay, let me go ahead. Now, when you talk about this ball pen and refill, now tell me, can you describe a refill without a ball pen? No. So refill can be described, refill can be put to use, refill can act independent of this particular ball pen as well. But can you call a ball pen as a ball pen without refill? Okay. For a ball pen to be called as a ball pen, it has to have a refill. The design of ball pen is incomplete without even mention of a refill. So if you do not mention a refill in a ball pen while you're designing that ball pen cannot be called as a ball pen. So when we say ball pen and refill, the design of ball pen is incomplete without refill. But then when you talk about a ball pen, while you're describing a ball pen may have a price. So you may say float price. Ball pen may have length. So you may say body color or your body material. So you say ball pen के अंदर you may describe string body color kind of thing. But ball pen will also have a refill, and the refill that is present inside a ball pen will be an instance of this particular class called as refill. Very correct that refill is a class, but are you going to have this class inside a ball pen or objects of the class inside this particular ball pen? So when we are designing this particular ball pen class, we will have an instance of class refill inside a ball pen. So instance of class refill inside a ball pen. So when we talk about this class, an instance of refill is an attribute of class ball pen. So one of the field which we'll be using to describe our pen will be a refill. And refill will be nothing but an instance, a field, an attribute, a data member of this particular class called as ball pen. The description of ball pen will be incomplete without description of refill. So you cannot go ahead describing ball pen without describing this refill. Ball pen has a refill. Okay, or refill is a part of ball pen. When you come across this has a or a part of relationship, it's nothing but composition. And composition are always class object relationship, because ball pen is a class. It contains one object inside it, and that object is nothing but an object of class refill. So it's class object relationship and not class relationship. So ball pen class contains one attribute, and the attribute is nothing but an object of class refill. And ball pen design cannot be completed without this particular refill. Okay, so ball pen is incomplete. Ball pen has a refill. Ball pen has a refill. A refill is a part of ball pen. So whenever you come across these words, has a part of, their normally composition or aggregation, as we talk about composition relationship. So it's class object relationship is what it is. It's not class relationship. It's class object And specialized form, if I say, it's composition relationship that we come across. Okay, so let me answer. There is no sharing over here. Okay, there is nothing that is being shared between these two objects. When we say sharing, it's not just about some attribute here and there, that name name is not a field which will actually be much of a value for us. Sharing is some properties that control the behavior of that particular object. Is there some structural thing which is common between them? Because when you talk about attributes, attributes are what? Attribute describe that thing in the real world. So when I'm saying describe that thing in the real world, what are we describing about that thing in the real world? It's attributes, it's features, its characteristic properties. Now, what is one characteristic property that is common between notebook and ball pen? So there is no characteristic property which makes a ball pen, or which makes a notebook a notebook that is common between both of them. So these are two independent classes, independent of each other. So here they are actually using, the ball pen is used by notebook to write upon it. Okay, so notebook uses ball pen because ball pen is used by notebook to write upon. तो नोटबुक पे लिखना है तो कुछ से किसी चीज पे लिखना होगा, पेंसिल है, पेन है, बॉल पेन है, समथिंग यू हैव टू राइट. बट बॉल पेन आल्सो रिक्वायर्स सम सरफेस टू राइट अपॉन. बॉल पेन लेके हवा में थोड़ी ना राइट करोगे. तो इफ यू आर राइट सम यूजिंग अ बॉल पेन, और यू हैव टू ड्रॉ अ पिक्चर यूजिंग अ बॉल पेन, you have to write, scribble anything using a ball pen, you require some surface. And for ball pen, notebook acts as a surface. So ball pen uses a notebook as a writing surface for writing. So these are two independent classes. They can be described independently of each other. They can exist in the nature independent of each other. But for them to be meaningful, they make use of each other. Because notebook is of no use if nobody is going to write upon it, and ball pen is of no use if you're not going to write using that particular ball pen. So it's class relationship and utilization. So these are two independent classes. They can be described independent of each other, but then for them to be meaningful, they have to make use of each other. Because notebook पे कोई लिखेगा नहीं तो notebook किसी काम का नहीं है. Ball pen है आपके पास and you do not have any surface to write upon, that ball pen is also of no use. So it was class relationship and utilization. Let's go ahead to the next one. Tea and cup, when we are talking about, in the real world, we will be using object of type T and object of type cup. T itself is a class and cup is also a class. Okay, that cup class describes the design of a cup, and T class describes what is the composition of that particular tea, or the process of making that particular tea, and so on. So T and cup both are classes. Now for me to describe tea, I don't really need to even mention about a cup. Even if I don't have a cup, I can drink that particular tea. I can hold that particular tea in a saucer as well, or in a glass as well. But when you talk about a cup is not just meant for holding tea. Cup can hold milk also, and cup can hold beer also, and cup can hold tea also. So it can hold water as well. So both of them can exist independently of each other. Both of them can exist independently of each other. Although they can exist independently of each other, in this particular case, when you are talking about relationship between these two, cup is of some purpose, and the purpose is to hold some liquid. Okay, and the tea, it holds the tea so that we can actually use that particular tea for drinking and so on. And tea cannot be served unless it is held in some kind of container, and so it has chosen one container, that is cup. So although both of them can be described independently of each other, so you don't require one to describe another. To describe tea, you don't require cup, and to describe cup, you don't require tea. So both can exist independently of each other. So both are independent classes, and objects of these classes are going to actually interact with each other. But both of them, while I'm describing the class, both are independent of each other. So these are two distinct classes. These are two distinct classes which can be described independent of each other. So as a designer, when you're describing cup, you don't even have to bother about knowing any knowledge about the tea. And while you're designing tea, describing tea, you don't have to think about the cup in which that tea is going to be held. Your preparation of tea will not change based on knowledge of the container in which you're going to hold that particular tea. That's not going to change really. So both these classes can exist independent of each other. Both these classes can exist independent of each other. So this is class relationship what we're talking about. So tea is served in cup, and tea uses cup for holding itself, and cup contains or hold tea. The cup is also of purpose if you hold some liquid inside it. So cup contains or holds tea. So this is class relationship, and again it is utilization. So you have to identify relationship. Unless and until you cannot identify relationship correctly, we cannot design application correctly. You may design it, and the design will actually create more of a problem when it comes to when the application has to be modified, when size of the application goes on to increase, complexity increases. If your design is not appropriate, you will fail to develop a large complex application. How about this? So when we talk about tiger, mammal and tiger, both of them are classes, and there is some kind of sharing which is happening. So what you said, वो बहुत सारे behaviors share करता है, exhibit करता है, वो actually share कर रहा है. तो tiger and you and me also share certain things which are common. Tiger भी warm blooded है, आप क्या cold blooded हो क्या?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Tigers give rise to young one. क्या आप अंडे देते हैं क्या? No. We also give rise to young one. So there are a lot of things which are common between tigers, and there is a lot of things common between tiger and us as well. So when we talk about this tiger and mammal, mammal describes all those animals which are warm-blooded. The mammal describes all those animals which do not lay eggs. They give rise to young ones. Don't go into details of biology and tell me, sir, एक ऐसा exception वगैरह है. Don't tell me about that. But when you normally talk about mammals, mammals give birth to young ones. Mammals are warm-blooded. So these are kind of properties that tiger is also exhibiting. These are kind of properties that we are also exhibiting. So tiger is a very different class, and human is also a very different class. But both of them are mammals. So in this case, when you talk about mammal and a tiger, so tiger has all the properties of mammal, not few. Not बहुत सारे. Every property that mammal exhibits is is there in a tiger. But tiger is a specialized version of mammal. Likewise, humans are also specialized version of mammal. So humans are also mammals, tigers are also mammal, but each of us are specialized version. So we have all the properties of mammal, but in addition to mammal, we have certain things, and in addition to mammals, tiger also has certain things that we do not have. Tiger has claws, we don't have claws, correct? So both of them are classes. Mammal is a class, tiger is also a class, and this tiger class is a specialized version of mammal class. So it has been created using this mammal class. It has all the properties and behavior of mammal class, and plus its additional properties and behavior. So tiger is a kind of mammal. So whenever you come across this kind of, then it is always a class relationship. So tiger exhibits all the properties of mammal. बहुत सारे नहीं, all the properties of mammal. Tiger class is created or derived from mammal. So you create a new class called as tiger based on the existing design of a mammal. So mammal is already there. For you to describe tiger, you don't have to describe from the tiger from scratch. You say tiger is a mammal. That's it. The moment you say tiger is a kind of mammal or tiger is a mammal, so all the properties that you have already described in mammal, they will make sense for tiger. In addition to that, what makes that mammal a tiger, बस उतना describe कर लिया तो your tiger is also ready. So it's class relationship and inheritance. Keep in mind. So when you talk about this class, it is when we talk about class is either utilization or inheritance. It's either utilization or inheritance. And when you talk about class object, it's either composition or instantiation. So class will always be inheritance or utilization, and class object will be instantiation or composition. Okay, let's first I'll explain this now. Anybody? Your design of house cannot be complete without mention of door. So you cannot have a house anywhere across the globe except for Shani Singapore where you do not have doors. Otherwise, a house has to have a door. कितना भी छोटा है, कितना भी पतला, कैसे भी हो, दरवाजा तो होना चाहिए for privacy, for security, whatever it is. So you cannot think about designing a house. Architect पे जाए वो घर design करो बिना दरवाजे का, he will laugh at you. So there is no house. The design of house will be incomplete without concept of door. As you rightly said, Shantanu, door can exist independent of each other. Door gate को भी आ सकता है, door घर को भी आ सकता है, door कहीं भी जा सकता है. That's true. But house बिना door के नहीं हो सकता है. Design of house cannot be completed without a door. So door is a part of house, or house has a door. So it's class object. House का design करते समय door के बारे में आपने सोचना होगा, number of door सोचना होगा, without which चलो घर को door ना हो accepted, चलो main door ना हो, bathroom को भी नहीं लगाओगे क्या door? हाँ, घर में तो door होना चाहिए. There will be number of doors that are there, so there will be multiple doors that you'll have in a house. But doors, so you'll have a lot of doors, not just the main door that you come across in your mind, but there are other places also which will be using the doors for privacy purpose as well. So description of house is incomplete without description. So description of house is incomplete without description of door. बिना door के घर complete नहीं हो सकता. We cannot describe a house without a door. So house has a door. House has a door, and its class object relationship. House is a class, and description of this class cannot be completed without having an instance of class door. तो door class को आपको पहले डिजाइन करना होगा. Has a relationship है तो, और जब भी has आएगा, it's always composition. Here, next one. ये inheritance का ही relationship है. Both share certain things in common. जब भी sharing आएगा, तब inheritance रहेगा. So there are a lot of properties and there are a lot of behavior. Both of them are used for purpose of writing. Both will have ink. Okay, both will have both will have ink and both will have used for purpose of writing. So there are a lot of things which are common between them. तो जब भी sharing की बात आती है तो normally it is inheritance. So it's class है, दोनों different class है, but both class inherit from the one particular base class, that is pen. So both of them are kind of pen. So they are it's nothing but inheritance, because both share the same properties of pen. So there is sharing. both exhibit the behavior of writing instrument. Both of them are writing instrument. It's class relationship, and it is inheritance, because both of them inherit from the same base class, that is pen. So there is some kind of sharing between them. What are they sharing? Some properties they are sharing, some behaviors is what they are sharing. देखो अभी आपके सामने है. But design of computer will be incomplete without a processor. You cannot say I have a computer and it has no processor. That cannot even be called as a computer if it doesn't have a processor. So processor is a part of computer. A computer has a processor. जब भी has a part of relationship आएगा, that is always class object relationship. So computer class के जब डिजाइन कर रहे हैं आप, तो you'll have to mention about an object. Object कौन से क्लास का चाहिए, उसके अंदर सबसे important processor class का object उसके अंदर चाहिए. That will only complete your design of this particular class called as computer. So you cannot describe this class computer completely unless and until you have not spoken about what is a processor all about. So computer has a processor. Computer has a processor. Processor itself is an independent class, but you cannot complete the design of computer unless you already have completed design of class processor. So think about where am I taking this discussion to. While we are identifying this relationship, हमें ये भी identify करना है, अगर implement करने की बात आती है, तो which class should I implement first? So as I told you earlier, parts have to be implemented first. Unless until the parts have not been created, you cannot design the whole thing. I cannot construct a car unless all the parts of the cars are available with me. I cannot construct a laptop unless until all parts of the laptops are available with me. And that's the important learning from all this discussion. तो हमें जब when we are in the real world, you'll come across number of objects. तो कौन सा object का class हमें पहले implement करना है, code किसके लिए पहले लिखना है. These are something that we are trying to understand. So here the part that is a processor has to be implemented first. अगर आपके पास processor class available है, only then can you create an instance of class processor inside a computer. Because computer class design करते समय, one of the attribute of this particular class computer will be a processor. One of the field, one of the property, one of the data member of this particular class computer will be a processor. But unless and until you do not have a processor class ready, can you construct an object of class processor and make it a field of class computer? That will not be possible. So description of computer is incomplete without description of processor. Computer has a processor. Your processor is a part of computer. Its class object relationship and composition. So a class है, class object you said?
Class object, sir.
And that's very correct. IPL team एक डिजाइन है, और उस डिजाइन के हिसाब से जितने सारे ऑब्जेक्ट्स बनाएंगे, there are 8-10 objects. Each of them, all of them have the same structure. उतने ही players है, उतने ही coach है. All the things are exactly the same for all those teams. So the design of all the teams is exactly the same. हाँ, captain का नाम अलग रहेगा, coach का नाम अलग रहेगा, owner का नाम अलग रहेगा. But each of them will have the same set of attributes and they will exhibit similar kind of behavior. So Rising Supergiant is an object of class IPL team. IPL team एक class है, Rising Supergiant, Delhi Daredevils, या फिर हैदराबाद जो भी रहेगा, okay, Deccan Challenger, whatever it may be the case, Rajasthan Royals. These are nothing but objects of this particular class called as IPL team. And ये Rising Supergiant जो हम लोग कह रहे हैं, वो उस object को दिया हुआ नाम है, so that I can identify that particular object which represents that particular team. And it's a kind of IPL team. All IPL teams are nothing but design of the same class called as IPL team. Let it be Rajasthan Royals or Rising Pune Supergiant, whichever we are talking about, all of them are based on the same design. So सबका design एक ही है. These are different instances of that particular class, and every instance is unique. तो हर एक instance में properties तो वही रहेंगे, सबका behavior भी वही रहेगा, सिर्फ उसके values अलग-अलग आ सकते हैं. तो Rising Supergiant and IPL team is a class. A Rising Supergiant is an object of that particular class. So Rising Supergiant is a IPL team, is a kind of IPL team, is a IPL team, is a काइंड ऑफ नहीं, पार्ट ऑफ में या काइंड ऑफ में इनहेरिटेंस था हमारा, ये काइंड ऑफ नहीं, इज अ टीम है. आईपीएल, इट्स आईपीएल टीम. It is an instance of IPL team. It's an object of that particular team. It's class object relationship and it is instantiation. So Rising Supergiant is an object of class IPL team. How about this?
Speaker.
That's very important. Description of television cannot be completed without description of speaker. Television has a speaker. Speaker can exist independently. That's very correct. What Rameshwari said, speaker I can have inside television. I can have a speaker which is outside a television also. That's perfectly. But can you have a television without a speaker? Can the design of a television can be completed without a speaker? I bought a television and it has no speaker. Can you call it a television today? Only screen dekhoge kya? That will not be the case. So for a television to be called as television, it has to have a speaker. So television has a speaker. A speaker is a part of television. Do you ever come across television without a speaker? That's normally not the case. So here, speaker is an object, understood. But television also is a speaker is a class, understood. And स्पीकर क्लास का ऑब्जेक्ट आपके टेलीविजन क्लास के डिजाइन में होना चाहिए. यू कैन नॉट डिजाइन अ टेलीविजन विदाउट अ स्पीकर. सो टेलीविजन हैज अ स्पीकर. टेलीविजन हैज अ स्पीकर. स्पीकर इज अ पार्ट ऑफ टेलीविजन. स्पीकर इज अ part of television. So it is class object. Class television है, speaker एक object है. कौन से class का object है? Speaker class का object है. पर एक speaker class का object आपको television में introduce करोगे तब जाके आपका television का design will get completed. So here its class object relationship. Description of television is incomplete without description of speaker. They cannot exhibit. Utilization के लिए both should be in a position to exist without each other, independently of each other. Here television cannot exist without speaker, although speaker can exist without television, that's okay, but television unfortunately cannot exist without speaker. For television to be called as television, it has to have a speaker. Speaker is a part of television. तो ये class object relationship है और ये composition है. So latest C++ is a kind of textbook. Okay, is a kind of textbook. Latest C++ exhibits all properties of textbook. So whatever is there in textbook, everything has been exhibited in. Everything is a part of latest C++. So a class relationship hai. The contents are actually going to be different. So the contents, the specialized content which are there in latest C++ are not a part of every textbook. So the latest C++ is a technical textbook in which language C++ has been described, and based that particular design, instances we create. So you have a latest C++ textbook. I also have a latest C++ textbook. So both of us are carrying instances of class textbook. But which textbook? Latest C++ textbook. So there are thousands and thousands and millions of copies of latest C++ which are currently available in the market. There are thousands of copies of latest C++ which are available in the market, and they are all unique as compared to any other textbook which is there in the market. They are all unique as compared to any other textbook which are there in the market. Latest C++ is a kind of textbook. So all the properties of textbook are exhibited in latest C++. But when you talk about the content, that content is about this particular language. All latest C++ textbooks will not have the same content. It's about this particular language, that is C++ it is describing. Every latest C++ book that we talk about will have serial ID, will have ISBN number. So there's every textbook also has an ISBN number. So a lot of properties, every property of textbook is exhibited by latest C++. Every property of textbook is exhibited by latest C++. Latest C++, we have multiple instances of that particular design. So we have created a textbook. Your textbook and my textbook that we are carrying are nothing but instances, objects of class latest C++. They are nothing but instances or objects of this class called as latest C++, and each instance is unique. आपके book का number और मेरे book का serial number can possibly be different. That barcode that we see can be possibly different. So each of the object is also identifiable. So the book that you have in your hand and the book that I have in my hand, latest C++ book that I have in mind, are nothing but instance of which class design? Thereof latest C++, and latest C++ is a kind of textbook. So latest C++ is a kind of textbook. It exhibits all the properties of textbooks. Very true. हर बार specialization के लिए कुछ नया ही करना कोई जरूरी नहीं है. Here every textbook has number of pages. Latest C++ also has number of pages. Every textbook has author. This fellow has also author. Every textbook has a publisher. This also has a publisher. Very true. But we are using this specialized design with X number of pages, and we are creating copies of that particular textbook. So the book that you carry and the book that I carry are nothing but instances of this class called as latest C++. Each of these is, they have all the latest C++ textbooks are exactly the same. Number of pages and everything is exactly the same. So your copy of 10th edition of latest C++ and my copy of 10th edition of latest C++ is going to be identical, because both have been created based on the same design. Which design? Latest C++, which has dictated the exact number of pages that will have, exact price that will have. So all the properties will also be the same for those objects that we want to create. So latest C++ and textbook, when you talk about, it's a kind of relationship. Latest C++ is a kind of textbook. It's a kind of textbook. It's a type of textbook. It exhibits all the properties of textbook. ये class relationship है और ये inheritance है. How about this? Cannot exist. That's very important. Design of fan cannot be completed without a motor. It has a motor. अगर नहीं motor है तो भी it can be called as electric fan. No, not possible. So for a fan to be called as electric fan, to be called as a fan, it has to have a motor. Motor can exist. This motor can be used at any other place as well. So motor is a part of fan. Description of fan is incomplete without description of motor. You cannot call that fan a fan if it does not have a motor. So you'll have to first design a motor and make that motor a part of a fan and so on. So fan has an instance of class motor. Fan has an instance of class motor. Object a motor, which is an object of class motor, that will be introduced inside a fan, and then that fan can be called as an electric fan. So it's class object and it is composition. Class, both of them are class. Parrot and pigeon are class, and the parrot that you may have at home and the parrot that I may have at my home are nothing but instances of that particular class called as parrot. Both have their similar structures. They exhibit similar kind of behavior. both the parrots may be different, but then both of them are of same type, that is parrot. Parrot and pigeon. Pigeon is also a class, and the pigeons that we see around nowadays in our cities, there are so many pigeons around, but each of them is of the same design, that is pigeon. Both are kind of birds, so both of them share certain properties which are common. Both of them have hollow bones, both of them have beaks, both of them can fly, and so on. Both of them lay eggs, kind of thing. There are a lot of things which are common. Where is this commonality coming from? That's coming from the superclass called as birds. So they share common structure and common behavior. A class classification or a inheritance. Okay, so that is what we had. I had actually planned to discuss for today. It was just a basic introduction that we planned to have. So I'll stop over here today.